Hello everyone, Dr. Mel here. Happy Mindfulness Monday. It is Monday and it is chilly here in Minnesota. Oh my goodness. Winter is here. Winter is here. And the new year is upon us. We just went through a solar eclipse, a new moon. There's a lot of intense energy. Holiday stuff. I'm sure y'all can feel it. So I wanted to come on here and talk about how to deal with intensity, how to deal with change, and how to increase our capacity to deal with intensity, to deal with things that maybe make us feel uncomfortable. Because that's part of life, right? We're going to deal with challenging moments. We're going to deal with intensity. And we need to teach our nervous system how to learn to be in that energy rather than retract and feel like our life is at stake. Because oftentimes when we come across intensity, challenges, discomfort, our life really actually isn't at stake, but our nervous system thinks that it is. And so it's really important to practice feeling and being with intensity in our own body-mind so that we can learn how to be with it more often externally, whether it's at our job, at our family gatherings, doing healing work, wherever it is. It all comes back to how does our nervous system deal with change? How does our nervous system deal with adaptability? Adaptability is the name of the game, my friends. When you deal with challenges, if you can adapt and rise up beyond it, that is a testament to an evolved, adaptable nervous system. So for those of you who are doing the Breathwork Challenge, you are going to be doing stage 6 today, which is where we start to increase the energy and breath and movements in our body. And when we do that, our breath changes. So we're breathing in through the nose more. We're feeling this swirling energy in our body, and it can feel intense. That intensity can feel like joy. Intensity isn't always bad. It can feel like pure joy that maybe you've never experienced before. And sometimes what comes up in our body mind is, am I worthy of this joy? Tension can come up, nausea, stomach aches, feeling like a swirling of tension in our whole body. Heat is another way, sweating. All of these physiological phenomena are really just energy. And what our brain likes to do is say, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. Oh my gosh, I can't handle this. So my challenge to you, as you go through the Breathwork Challenge, which if you haven't already, you can hop in and you'll get day 7 tomorrow through day 12. My challenge for you and my invitation is, how can you learn to be with the sensation beneath the story? How can you learn to be with the sensation of the body without making it mean anything? For example, many of us know, and most of you know, that we are in the hiring process, which can sometimes create a little discomfort for everyone involved, including us, right? Things are changing. Michael's moving forward in his business. We have to go through a pretty in-depth interview process because we want to make sure that it's the right person. And sometimes that means we have to say no to people because it's part of the process and it's nothing personal. And we as human beings have a human experience about that, right? I know I've been, really working towards this for myself and making sure that I'm bringing on the right team member to serve you all appropriately and sustainably and with love. And that doesn't mean that it's always butterflies and rainbows. As we grow, sometimes there is the growing pains. And so the more that we can learn how to be with the energy and not give it a story, not make it mean anything like, oh, this means I'm a bad person, or this means that I'm just an angry person, right? We create these stories for our mind. Our mind tries to make sense of what's happening in our body. And we actually want to do the opposite when it comes to growing our ability to be with intensity. Remember, intensity isn't bad. It can also be on the other side of the spectrum of joy and pleasure and ecstasy and love. That can also be intense, right? When someone's just loving you and feeling you so much, sometimes that's hard to be with, right? This can look like when someone compliments us. We say, oh, you have great eyes too, or I love your dress. Oh, I like your dress too. It's like, what would it look like to just receive that energy? And where does it land in your body? I have the capacity to experience a wider bandwidth, a wider range, a wider capacity, a higher intensity of not only pain, but love. And I'm not saying that we need to suffer, But oftentimes the suffering comes because we're resisting actually connecting and feeling the intensity of the sensation of our body. Our mind tries to take over, tries to make up stories about ourselves, about our body. We fragment ourselves. We say, oh, that's my leg, that's my knee, I don't want to deal with it. When in reality, pain and sensation and heat and sweating and nausea and all of that is just beautiful, intelligent wisdom that your body is really calling for you to connect with. And so the way that we increase the intensity is through connection, through feeling, through breathing. That's why I'm doing the 12 days of breath work, because I get that this time of year can be intense. Holidays, New Year, we think we have to set all these goals, when in reality, maybe what we need first is to connect here before we set these goals that don't really align with our values and what we really feel inspired by. So don't feel the pressure of a vision board. Don't feel the pressure of setting goals. Everyone knows our Inspire immersion is coming up in March, and that's not January. And we're going to be talking about how to craft your vision in alignment with your goals, and it's March, right? You can set your vision and goals whenever you want. If you think of the calendar, it's just a made up thing. Tomorrow is just another day. It might be December 7th, and we create that to have meaning because we had to put numbers and days and time for our brain to make sense of things. But if you think about it, it's just another day. The sun comes up and the sun goes down and the earth keeps spinning. You get to choose your reality every single moment. And the way that we can be with that change, again, this beautiful vessel right here. Breathe into the sensation. I think what you'll find is when you can be underneath a story, and what that can look like too is like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm angry, or I'm having this emotional experience. That can be a story that we're creating. And we say, okay, well, what's behind the story? Behind the story is like, I feel abandoned. I feel sad. Today I woke up and I just felt sad. Like I just had this heaviness in my heart. I had this heaviness in my body. And rather than trying to create like a meaning out of that, like, oh, I'm sad because of this, I just was like, it's okay to feel sadness. It's okay. And I felt the heaviness. And it felt like a heaviness, like right in my sternum here. And I just connected with it. And I said, you know what? I connect with the heaviness. I connect with the sadness. And sure enough, my energy shifted, right? It's not that I'm like, oh, yay, right? We don't want to be ups and downs, but just moving through those waves. And remember, your body is a vessel of experiencing waves. And the more that we can be with the waves and connect to it and just feel it, it moves through. And I'll tell you what, this may be a little TMI, but I know all y'all are all about health and how some of these concepts relate to your body. As I did that, I had 2 bowel movements this morning because my body's letting go of stuff for whatever I'm meant to step into next. So I digress. The way to be with intensity is through connection. Being with the waves, connecting with the sensation of your body. The sensation is different than the thoughts. It's different than the emotions. It's different than beliefs. It's different than story. It's felt sense. And the more you can be with the felt sense of your body, I promise you your ability to be with intensity beyond your physical body will change. Because when something happens and you feel that rush of energy in your heart, or maybe you feel your anxiety kick in, and we don't even need to name it anxiety. Maybe it's tension in your chest. Connect with it. Let it move it through your body, okay? We're dynamic beings. We're changing all the time. Our cells are constantly turning over. And so we don't need to attach to a story, but rather create our own story and create our own reality day after day after day. So if you're curious on how to learn more of this for yourself, for other people that maybe you're working with, maybe your coworkers, your family members, if you are a practitioner yourself, I am going to be doing a masterclass, Beyond Breathwork Masterclass, December 17th. It's a Friday from noon to 4 p.m. It's going to be rapid, okay? So 4 hours, 12 stages in 4 hours. That means we're doing 3 stages in 1 hour. And I really want to be able to support you in the 12 days of breathwork. Beyond that, to facilitate it and get the nuances that sometimes you don't get in those videos that I've been sending out. So if you're curious, you can sign up at the link in this video. It's only $12.12. I did that purposely because 12 days of breathwork, $12, I'm into numbers. It's fun. Join us. If you're not able to join us live, which is fine, make sure that you get the recording, which you will if you sign up. So I look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, please reach out. Know that as Michael and I are going through changes and expanding our team, we want to make sure that we are serving you 100%, and also recognize like there's a lot of back end stuff that we're navigating to up level, and it's only going to serve people better, right? As we grow our team, we can serve you better. And we also have to go through some growing pains as well. So we appreciate your trust. We thank you. We so appreciate your loyalty. Thank you for just being here with us and learning and growing. Those are the types of people that we want to keep feeding into and feeling into. So acknowledge yourself. I'll leave you with one bit of wisdom, which I posted in here the other day, is that falling in love with yourself, not from an egoic standpoint, but like really loving everything about yourself, even some of the yuckiness. Falling in love with yourself is a really big deal. Falling in love with who you are from the inside out is a very big deal. And when you can learn to love all parts of your being, the right, the wrong, the good, the bad, the pretty, the ugly, all those different dimensions of who you are, that is where you become whole. And that, my friends, is a really big deal. As you do that, that love permeates out to people around us. And that's very powerful healing energy. So know that you are a healer in your own way. You don't have to go through years of school like me. You get to tap in through your breath, through your body, and beyond. So I look forward to seeing you in the breathwork class, the Beyond Breathwork Masterclass. If you have any questions, reach out. And as always, peace, love, and keep inspiring.